Hello world, hello YouTube land. Right, before I get onto the perfume review, I just want to use a framing device to frame what I'm going to talk about. Right, so women in the West, in the I'm talking about the UK because that's where I live, have had the vote, full suffrage since 1928. So they've had a say in what goes on in this world for 70, 80, 86 years. What's happened then with 86 years of women having equal say as men, which is, yeah, I'm all for that. It's that our society has become more and more feminised. And in 2016, women, I know this is going to really upset the feminists, have more rights than men. I'm talking about law courts, where men will be more harshly sentenced for the same crime as women. I'm talking about divorce settlements. I'm talking about child custody. I'm talking about all women boards for corporations and just selection of MPs. There's lots of different advantages that women have over men in 2016, or hardly fought for, not complaining about it. I'm all for equal rights. But there's a problem with equal rights. The problem is that when women start to rule a country, when they become the leaders of the country and start to make political decisions, and this isn't a sexist thing to say, this is borne out by what's happening right now in Europe, feelings start to become more important than facts and meanings. I'm talking about the current situation with the immigrants coming into the West. Lots of adverts on my TV, all about poor children who need to be helped. Lots of MPs appearing on my TV saying poor children need to be helped. It's not just women who are saying that these poor refugees need to, or immigrants, whatever you want to call them, people fleeing wars, which is not always the case. But it's not just women who are saying that these people need to be helped. It's men as well. Men are saying this because they've been increasingly feminised since childhood. They've been brought up by women from infant school to primary school, secondary school, university. Universities are dominated by women now. It's been a society or a culture, a petri dish, a culture, which is very, very feminised. So men have started to base a lot of their decision making on feelings, just like women have. Not a good idea when you've got a foreign invading ideology which is very, very masculine. I'm talking about Islam. Islam is historical. This is not just my opinion. Historically speaking, Islam is a very masculine culture of conquest. They will invade and take over, end result, Sharia law in your country, diminish rights for everyone apart from Muslims. So all the rights that women have so bravely fought for over the last 100 years or so in the West will go down the drain if our culture starts to become a more of a Islamic culture. Islam is not compatible with the West. Islam is only compatible with Islam. So with our culture now being a increasingly feminised culture, with all about feelings over meanings, it's left us in a very vulnerable state to be taken over by Islam. What needs to happen is our culture needs to tilt more to the masculine side than the feminine. We need to Donald Trump it. We need to put up the wall and start protecting ourselves. Look what Israel does. Israel protects its own. We need to start doing that. We need to start saying nope. It's very, very sad that lots of children are going to die around the world if we don't help. But by helping them, we destroy ourselves. We need to help ourselves first. It's only a masculine culture that is going to do that. A feminised culture, which is all about feelings, is not going to do that. Feminised culture is going to let the invading culture in and then watch itself slowly be taken over, from the people that it's invited in. What's this got to do with a perfume review? Well, I grew up in the 1970s and 80s, and there was still a faint whiff of masculinity in the air when I grew up, and that faint whiff came from this bugger, Brut. This isn't the aftershave. Obviously, I don't need the aftershave with my big bushy beard. Yeah, that was the smell of locker rooms when I grew up. So what I'm doing now is almost as a symbolic gesture, perhaps looking at myself in the mirror, realising that I myself, going through the feminised culture, I've become far too feminised myself. I've become a bit of a girly man. So I need to reclaim some of that lost masculinity from my childhood and man up, become more of a man and less of a woman. So I've just been to the gym. This sounds like a comedy routine, I stress it's not. I've just been to the gym and I've had a shower, and the first thing I did when I come out of the shower is I dried myself and splashed myself in Brut Splash On Lotion, £4 from your local supermarket. Sprayed a bit of Brut deodorant, £1.80 from your supermarket, and then finished off with this one here, which is about £9. You can get it on eBay. This stuff is pure masculine nirvana. It's soapy, clean, fresh, and it's got I don't know, a bit maybe patchouli, which is lent it a rough edge. It smells like a fresh, clean man. A woman would not wear Brut. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a small little thing. I'm going to douse myself in old school masculinity, do a daft video which I'll put up on YouTube, and just put out a question there to all men living in this increasingly feminised culture of particularly in Europe. I don't know what it's like in America, never been to America. What I can do is talk about where I live. I live in England, and England is really, really feminine nowadays. The men are very, very girly. So we need to reclaim some of that lost masculinity, and what better way to reclaim that lost masculinity than to douse ourselves in some gorgeous Brut. Okay, so Brut is a 10 out of 10 scent for me because it's very cheap, it's very masculine, and it's very, very nice. I'll end my video here. No more ranting about the state of Western civilisation and feminised culture. It's either going to change and become more of a masculine culture, or it's going to become even more feminised, more about feelings, and be completely destroyed by the Islamic invaders. Our choice. I choose Brut. Okay, take care everybody. Let me know what you think of my slightly daft video, which had a serious point, and be nice to each other, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.